digital intelligence and data management. You have seen since morning various sessions, various topics, but this session will be the tool and enlightening the requirement of digital importance for every sector, every verticals. Today's session plugs you straight into digital core of the supply chain, where intelligence meets efficiency, where data is not just a record, but it's a revenue driver. We are talking about digital intelligence and data management, the real fuel for freight forwarding for tomorrow. Leading this power-packed session is a man who has been championing the digital shift before it was cool. Mr. Tej Contractor, technical visionary and chair of FIATA Advisory Board of Information Technology. I request Mr. Tej Contractor, the moderator of this session, to the dais. I also invite our Board of Advisor, Mr. S. Ramakrishna, to the dais. I also request our esteemed panelist, Mr. Jayendra V, Professor IIT Mumbai. Welcome, sir. Mr. Parivinder Singh, Managing Director, Hands Informatics. Yes. Welcome, sir. Ms. Meera Kumar, CEO, Dibos FWE. Welcome, madam. Mr. Vineet Malhotra, CMD, Kale Logistics.
Thank you.
Mr. Kunal Maheshwari, CGO, Softlink Global. I request Mr. Tej Contractor to take over. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Before I start, I would like to thank our foreign guests for coming, thank our executive committee, and most importantly, all of you in this fourth session, fag end of the day, to have such a large audience. So today we are going to decode the invisible power that's driving freight faster than your consignee's last-minute shipment. Can anyone guess what that is? Anyone? Just raise your hands, the mic will come to you. We're going to make this session a little interactive. Can we have the lights on so we can see everyone's faces? Okay, so the answer is data. Before we dive into that, let's start with a quick joke. Because what's logistics without chaos? Okay. Is this mic better? Yeah? Okay. So before we dive in, let's start with a quick joke. What's logistics without a little chaos and a lot of humor? Why did the customs broker bring the ladder to the data center? Anyone who answers this, and this is a surprise to all the software vendors up here, get a one-user free package from any vendor you want on the dais. Anyone? Oh, I see so many hands up. Come on. Please.
Real-time tracking.
Okay, real-time tracking. Anyone else? Come on. We have to have 3 guesses before we get the right answer. Yes, sir. You catch the cat. Okay. Anyone else? One last guess. Anyone? 5, 4. Okay, I think we all need coffee. So just an announcement, there's going to be tea, coffee coming in just to ensure that you're awake. So the real answer is because he heard the cloud was up there. Yes, in logistics, we don't just clear cargo. We clear confusion. And in this age, data is both cargo and the compass. As we step into this digital decade, it's worth reminding ourselves a quote by a great mathematician and data visionary, Claude Shannon. Information is the resolution of uncertainty. Let's be honest, if there's one industry full of uncertainty, it's ours. Vessel ETAs, container tracking, Manu, that's for you. Custom holds, last minute documentation changes. If we had a hiccup for, if we had a rupee for every hiccup unplanned, we'd all own ports by now. But today we are here to talk about solutions, smart solutions. Digital intelligence and data aren't just buzzwords. They are our industry's boarding pass to the future. Does everyone agree with me? If yes, raise your hands. Okay, half the people are still awake. Joining me today on this powerhouse panel are esteemed Professor Jayendran, professor from IIT, who helps us think not just out of digitalizing processes, but digitalizing thought itself. We have three leading tech providers to the industry, Parvinderji, Vineet, and Kunal, who build digital backbones that power your business while you sleep. We have one closed community platform for ship owners and operators to ensure cost and process optimization, Ms. Meera. The kind of exclusive digital club where the big fish swim. Each of them brings a unique lens: academia, enterprise software, private ecosystems. Today, we're going to explore how data can be harvested, analyzed, and acted upon. Why the digital landscape is not just for Silicon Valley, it's but for the Indian logistics landscape as well. And most importantly, how you and I, as freight forwarders and customs brokers, can stop reacting and start predicting. So let's buckle up, or rather log in, as we take a bite-sized journey into this gigabyte-sized topic. I know what are you all thinking? Oh no, just another panel discussion. But fear not, we're going to do things a little differently this time. You see, in the world of customs broking and freight forwarding, we've all come too far and become too familiar with the phrase faceless assessment. Oh my gosh, look at the horror on all of your faces. Don't worry, you are not faceless to us. You are just going to be face read by all of us. Let's imagine this session a real-life enactment of custom clearance value chain with a dramatic twist. Think of it as Logistics Got Talent meets KBC and Audit Nightmares the sequel. We are today, along with this lovely panel, going to play a little game with all of you. In this session, I will play the mighty CBIC. Sir, with your permission. And I'm watching everything from top, so everyone please behave. And I'm going to assign a cast of characters to each one of us. Professor Jayendran, you shall be our customs broker, calm, composed, always somehow holding back a sarcastic comment when someone says, can't you clear it just faster? It's something we all have heard, and that's too common. Parvinderji, you are now the data entry specialist, the master of keys and keystrokes. You enter more fields per minute than most people enter WhatsApp groups. Kunal Maheshwari, congratulations, you are our declaration submitter. Like a cricket opener with a shaky Wi-Fi connection, you never know when the ball is hit or when the system will hang. Sir, no pun intended. Vineet Malhotra, sir, you are the media channel of submission, be it IceGate, email, fax, or pigeon post. If there's a way to transmit data, you are it. Basically, you are the WhatsApp forward of the logistics world. And last, Ms. Meena Kumar, our audit queen, you are the eternal evaluator and auditor, one who checks what we've missed, questions our font choices, and ultimately sends us down a lane of regret, but with style. So here's the deal. We're going to start with the document where we key in data, we add value, submit it, eventually we face an audit, and hopefully we end up explaining ourselves to investigative agencies to a cold cup of chai and regret. But today we're going to do it with humor, insight, and most importantly, with all of you, our wonderful panelists who bring up so much practical experience and technological prowess. So without any ado, let's just dive into the topic. Digital intelligence and data management are not just a topic. They are a shared story to everyone in this room. Don't worry, nobody will be arrested at the end, we promise, unless Meera finds something suspicious. So without any further ado, let's have the session begin. Professor Jayendran, over to you. So before we start, let's get a big hand of applause for all the panelists. All right, now without tea and coffee, we are all awake. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, all. Thank you. I thank, first of all, I'd like to thank FFFAI and especially Dr. Mulani ji for inviting me and this wonderful hospitality. It's really great. And I think I'm the odd guy out. I don't really have a skin in the game. So I'm an academic. So I'm going to, share my thoughts on what I feel, what is digital intelligence is all about, right? By the way, I'm a professor in Industrial Engineering and Operations Research Department at IIT Bombay. And about 1.5 years ago, we also started a Center for Advanced Logistics and Analytics, supported through FedEx, where we are furthering a lot of research related to logistics. So the days to come, so probably I'll be interacting with all of you in different capacities. So one thing is, let me see. See, digital intelligence is coming, or rather it has already come in a rather big way. And let me start with some experience I would like to share on Logithon. So, in partnership with SoftLink, few months ago in March, we had conducted a Logithon, which was announced in, I think in February. We just gave 4 weeks time for various students team. The problem, I think you'll find it very interesting. So we reached out to college students, and the problem given is 2 problems. One is you're a small-time exporter, so you want to export something to anywhere in the world. So you have to figure out what are the compliance requirements of that particular good to reach the location. Choose multimodal ways of transport and provide cost estimates for the same. And you wouldn't believe, a lot of students team participated. The final team was won by first year students, just 17-year-olds. The system that they created was truly wonderful. What they did was they took all the complaints related, all the rules, etc. from the net, which is available, put it through a large language models, which had helped learn about the compliance part. They scrapped the internet and took about 10,000 plus ship routes, air routes, road routes, exact current freight rates. They even added a real-time monitoring for latest compliance rules, which is available from the government websites. And through that, created such a wonderful system that it was truly mind-boggling. The biggest learning for us is, imagine yourself as 17-year-old and people are asking you to do, figure out, I'm going to ship something from point A, from India, I want to ship to some country in the world, figure out the compliance requirements. We won't even know where to start, right? Put yourself 17-year-olds. But now, fearless guys have built a system which actually worked. I think Mulani ji was there, we were all there, and we asked so many questions. They were able to answer all those questions and come up with a prototype which was working in just 4 weeks' time. So that is the future that we are looking at. As we go ahead, various things, as we just saw since morning, and things are becoming paperless, but more importantly, things are also becoming faceless, right? So gone are the days where we could use our own contacts and the way we are working. So we were going to, so now things are actually becoming faceless. So that, and with the power of computing in our hand, there are a lot of things that is, already on hand. Like, for example, agentic AI and blockchain are already there to check our and improve the compliance requirements, figure out the routes, see what is going to happen. Not only prescribe, but also predict, suggest, also figure out where the missing data are, and so on and so forth. Digital twin, augmented reality, virtual reality are already there in a really big way. Industrial Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles. We have proof of concept right here in India. So many warehouses are also started exploring the use of drones, semi-autonomous, autonomous vehicles. All the vehicles are also equipped with LiDARs. And we just saw, last session, we were looking at ports in Singapore, which is completely automated. And the scale at which we are operating, it's not that we have to operate the current system efficiently. We have to grow 10 folds or even 100 folds and keep efficiency. That is not going to come with just making the current system automated. We have to add intelligence to it, and we have to be using the various tools that is going to be at our disposal in doing that. An important skill set that we need to bring in is how we are going to keep upskilling ourselves, right? So that we can continue to be relevant and deliver value. And I would like to end with this comment saying that we have to, completely rethink of how we are doing the logistics, compliance checks, customs, etc. That entire thing is coming. It's already on the way. So it is like, so I'll just stop there, and we'll come back later. Thank you.
Wow, amazing, sir. I mean, can you imagine in 4 weeks, first-year students changing the face of technology, changing the face of what 4 or 5 of us in the office would do today? A bunch of students have come together. I think that's something that we take. We move on to our next speaker. Parvinder ji, may I request you to please address the audience?
My many thanks to the AAA5 to inviting me on this forum. And this panel is full of tech people, so I hope we are able to, as a panelists, all panelists together, give you insights to what all is there and what all needs to be done. Okay. So, fine. Okay, I just want to give a very brief, because Mr. Teja said I have only 4 minutes. In 4 minutes, I will complete this presentation quickly so that we are well in time. This is what the title was there, Harnessing Digital Intelligence for Smarter Logistics. So how AI and blockchain and other big data can help us in doing all these things. We like data management is what is required. Data management is getting the data right. Are we getting the data right? Clean, structured, validated, trustworthy. Trustworthiness of the data is very important, and foundation of decision making. And data intelligence. These are the differences between data management and data intelligence. Using that data smoothly, insightful, predictive, adaptive, actionable, and automated. Driver of competitive advantage. So without I'm audible now? Okay. Without strong data management, digital intelligence efforts are flawed. So we have a lot of data, for everything. For logistics, there is a lot of data, there are a lot of data points. There's a literal explosion of data, so much scattered information coming from different domains, cargo domain, environment domain, transport domain. So they are all connected people as such, but the data they are throwing up is totally unregulated, and it is not being structured in any way. So there is a challenge in managing this kind of a unstructured and scattered data. So, and things which are beyond our control. If you've seen, there was a transport, there was environment, how the environment infected us in COVID-19, how the TNT got attacked by some cyber attack, Brexit implementation. So these are not these are beyond our control. So what we need to do with this data? Does it teach us anything? And how did the data and the technology help us? Data and logistics decision making, uncontrollable factors like weather is uncontrollable, demand, geopolitics, regulations. Any regulations keep on changing in our country itself. We see daily so many things are keep on happening and changing, and we have to adapt to that. Like how the customs rules and regulations change, how the tariffs are changing, how those regulations are changing. So it's not a one-time, 3 months or 6 months things are changing. Every day there is a change over there. So the trade has to adapt to that. The technology partners have to adapt to that quickly, the same day kind of a thing, because the things are implemented from next day. That is a big challenge which we all face every day. And the structured data, like we can, if you have structured data, we can historical trends and inventory levels are there. From there, we can do the predictive analytics and we can have market insights. So, of course, Government of India initiatives of PM Gati Shakti and all that, it basically is taking us towards that path only, where we have a structured data, we work on a, government is providing data, government is also throwing up so much of data, they are allowing us to connect with them. We have this example of ULIP, LDB and NLDS. We have our, Mr. Sagar had already touched these points. In fact, he's already talked to you about this, how the LDB and all these are giving you so much. But again, this is a scattered data from the logistics provider who needs different data points, but there are different APIs, there are different data is being thrown by different users of that. So there is no, how do you know, we do that. That is the need of the ask. So much of data points, it needs to be consolidated and make a coherent decision-making system from there. So from there, we can, again, the same thing, a logistics data bank and all that, how the big data is coming, the road to IC, to rail, to port, all these things are there. So Mr. Sagar has already explained a lot of that. So I am also was on this point, that there is a lot of data coming up there. We can have, we can poll the data. ULIP has provided so many APIs. We need to integrate those APIs and then make sense in our systems, in our ERP of all that data points. Government cannot do that decision making on your behalf. They can only provide you with the data. The different trade bodies, different government, different functionaries of government, if they are able to provide the data, now we make coherent decision based on that. So, so in a way, IceGate is giving a lot of opportunities. If they are able, they are coming out with API-based system. That is when the things will explode for us. Right now, it is a paper-based kind of a thing, and FTPs and all that. We have problems. There are a lot of problems over there. But if they are already, they are already talking about these things. So once these things are there, we can have a much better data integration with our systems, and we can get a clear picture to the logistics provider. And build big data strategy, collect, clean, structure, analyze, and automate. These are the 7 steps which are, I'm just rushing through that so that you can have this access to this PPT later on. You can just need that these 7 points, we are able to do this, we have a very powerful system within our things. So heterogeneous data, but connected in a single way. Automate your workflow. We are talking about EBL, we have already, FIATA is already done that, is given a kind of a path to us to go to that. E-Airway bill was already there. So once the transport documents are done, which is the last kind of a frontier for us, invoicing and all those already customs are done, e-Sanchet and single window concept. So we have those things. But the transport documents, once these are digitized, a major headache is then, once this is digitized, then track and trace also becomes easy in a real-time matter. So document autonomy received, what we as such are now able to do, we have AI bots and AI agents, which can automatically read data from the paper or scanned copies, scanned images, do the classify them in what kind of a this document is that, identify this thing and label it, and then do the data entry to the appropriate ERP systems. So this is what is the future, which is already, it's not a future, it's already there. And there's a couple of case studies, integrated ERP and cargo ports, which are now totally single window concepts. How it has helped one particular cargo thing reached from 5 million to 12 million ton. How and what the future looks like. We are at now the 4th stage. So digital trust. So much data. The problem faced by us will be the digital trust, whether it be digital signatures. Customers implemented digital signatures. We in India have digital signatures, or you can have a blockchain method. So digital trust is the ultimate barrier which we must incorporate into our systems, so that a lot of people are there to misguide you on that. But that's where the frontier is there, where the wars will keep on happening on the digital trust part. And and this is the final, digital transformation goes beyond acquiring these new tools. We are talking about acquiring AI tools or chat GPT, this, that, but that doesn't change our mindset. The mindset that the whole thing will change when our leadership, our business owners, if they are able to adapt to these new technologies and literally percolate down to their staff to rethink that. Let them drop those old ideas. Okay, I must do my thing my way, which I've been keep on doing for many years. How the startups have come up and exploded because they thought it differently. Now we have given professors have given an example of how the first year students have done that. They have thought of it in a different way of doing things. So if our staff, if our management, they keep on doing with the same way of doing, we are very comfortable without doing the same thing, they'll be left far behind very soon because some new startup will come, they will take over their work and go beyond that. So that is the thing. We have to have visionary leadership, adaptable work culture, and data-led decision makings. So there are a lot of digital tools available to do that, but we have to use it and incorporate it within our lives every day. And just a last thing, smarter decisions, faster logistics, like every failure also teaches us something. The data from failure leads to success. So that is the last thing we have.
Thank you very much, Pravindraji. Sorry, I'm just going to get up for a second. I think sir has made a very interesting point, okay? So, and Rama sir just spoke about it. How many of you think security is important? Please raise your hands. How many of you? Okay. All right. Do you all know what a single sign-on is? How many people, just think about this for a second. Pravindraji spoke about cyber security or cyber attacks and the need for cyber security. Now, as a responsible association, what have we done for you? Okay. We have triple FAI single sign-on. We all have teams, people, and they have logins in different, vendors, companies, shipping lines, NVOs, CCs, etc. Think of it, you have 5 people. Those 5 people deal with 20 logins. One of them leave. If you fail to close a login, that itself is data exposure. And let me share with you the kind of cyber security fraud that's been increasing is astonishing. Thousands of %. 6,000% last week, and the amount runs into billions of dollars. No longer do we say, cyber security only, cyber crime only affects the large corporations. I know at least 15 of my friends, 15, who have been compromised in some way or the other, some to the tune of $500,000, okay? So what Triple FAI has done for you, we have created an SSO. If you have that SSO, anyone who connects with the Triple FAI SSO, that takes care of the login, okay? So please, if you want some information about this, please connect with us after the session. Second, Pravindraji spoke about the bill of lading, but I will come back to that in the conclusion. Next, I would like to request our next speaker, Vinitji, to please speak about the topic. Thank you.
Good evening. That's better. Thank you so much. So since we've got about 4-5 minutes, let me take the first minute and a sound bite in terms of what we do. Many of you know what we do, but we're obviously a global tech company based out of India. We currently have customers in 43 countries. We have our own offices in 14. And we actually, provide solutions for multimodal cargo movement. And our specialization is around trade facilitation. Given that background, I was trying to compare what happens in India versus what happens outside with respect to data, whether it's data management or data intelligence or data analytics. And you would be very surprised to know, given this experience that we have, we may berate our systems, our processes, and the fact that we may fight with each other, but I think we are way, way better than many, many countries. So a round of applause for India. Right. And, if you look at it, how's the journey of so-called information technology, whether in logistics or otherwise, which is shaped up, I think that you could actually put it into three distinct phases. Number one phase, I think this is still about, the early part of this century was essentially focused around automation, which is where you see those ERPs of the world, which is the ones that you use, or simple automation. I mean, if you were to file for customs declaration, then you need a software and so on. If you were to do invoicing, you needed a software, you needed an accounting software and so on. I think from there till about 2022, about 20 odd years, we looked at the fact, and this term of digital came about, digitalization, etc., which essentially meant though you were doing your job reasonably okay, and a lot of people were doing it, how do you essentially connect with several in the ecosystem? Now it could be devices that you are connecting to, you are actually going on a mobility platform like mobile apps, and there are proliferation of mobile apps of all kinds. And I think that's what has happened. And now we are on the third phase, which is basically moving from NI, which is natural intelligence, and that's what we've seen, to the artificial intelligence world. And there's a lot of work stuff which is going on currently. So I think this path, all of us are traversing. Some of would still be in the first phase. Some would possibly go on to the third phase. I also want to, look at this phase and the second phase, because the third phase has just kind of started. And I want to recite two areas that we believe path-breaking from what we were part of. And I think all of us could possibly be proud of the fact that technology, how does it solve real-world problems? Let me just speak about, and these both involve customs to an extent. First one is from the India story. Cut over to 2017 when GST came over, right? And when GST came over, exporters at that point of time were not paying tax, they were supposed to pay tax. And if they were to pay tax, then through certain other mechanisms, they could claim it back. A refund could come in. Unfortunately, for small exporters, and this is a case in Tuticorin, those who are from Tuticorin would know this, the whole catchment area for the port is Tirupur, and there are a lot of garment manufacture which are small, and you've got 18% GST suddenly killing the working capital, killing the industry in a sense. If things would have been fine if the settlement process, that is you pay these tax and then you can get a refund, happened in a shortened time. That was not happening. And I've actually seen in Tuticorin Customs, there were people sitting, there were a team of 28 people actually sitting on the floor trying to make sense of the final port clearance that they need to give. As you all know, the process is, once the customs gives the port clearance, it goes into GST, and from there it gets processed and comes back. But the process was such broken that if the port clearance had to be given after the ship sails on the export side, the manifest had to be filed. If the manifest had to be filed from shipping line, they were dependent on either the co-loaders or the agents, and the agents in turn were dependent on the exporters. Because we were running a platform there, we realized that the actual problem was just matching data. And there were 8 fields that we matched. And today, in fact, even today, Customs, I think this is possibly the first time in the country, uses a system which is outside the customs system because the community is involved, which basically looks at this, this reconciliation of data and then gives the clearance. Thereby, in that time, reducing that what used to take 6 to 9 months to 3 days. And the estimates at that point of time was that 650 to 800 crores worth of GST refunds were happening much more quicker, bringing a lifeline to the exporters. So that's the power of technology could do. And the second one is far away, again involving customs. This time it's the US Customs. And most of us would believe that the Customs and Border Protection in the US would have got all the systems. So they have a concept much similar to our AFS. Some of you are aware of this, which is the first pilot is in New York. And today, to essentially clear goods on that AFS type of concept, our solution is used by the US Customs to make it, to clear it. So, these two stories stand out from our perspective in terms of power of what technology can do in near shore as well as away from us in terms of making a significant impact. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you very much, Vineet. I think this is a very interesting concept. There are simple solutions to complicated problems. If we think of, technology for each one of us does not have to be complex. If we logically think about it, we logically apply it, there are quicker and simpler solutions out there. Thank you. Next, I request Kunal Maheshwari to please, share his thoughts about the topic with the audience.
Hey guys, hi, good evening. My name is Kunal and I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Softlink Global. At Softlink Global, we work with freight forwarders, custom brokers, and logistics service providers across 45 countries through our ERP, intelligent ERP Logisys, which helps our customers to have an integrated platform to run their business. Well, I don't have the kind of experience which my panel has here, so I'm really honored to share this stage with them. But in about 4 to 5 years of experience, let me share what my observation was. Every logistic company needs control. Control comes with clarity. And clarity only comes when you have your data in front of you, you have your data available whenever you want it, and it is intelligent. Let me break down my thoughts in 3 parts. This mosquito is troubling me, sorry. Data visibility is equal to growth visibility. Data visibility is equal to growth visibility. You cannot scale what you can't see. Unless and until you have data in front of you which is telling you about your business in the entirety, how will you scale? That is where we have helped so many of our customers to manage their multiple branches, multiple country operations, and have all of them on a single unified platform. Again, your data management is the key. Second, I'm sure, can everyone raise their hands here, whoever uses ChatGPT or Meta or Gemini or DeepSeek? Can I get a show of hands, please? I'm sure that's more. Oh, there's still half of the room still not uses ChatGPT? Wow, that's surprising. Guys, you really need to catch up. All right, they really need to catch up. So, second thought is, how can AI help you with data visibility? What if I tell you that you can talk to your data with the help of AI? And we are doing it. So we have our own proprietary AI layer called Boxy AI, which we have embedded within our data analytics tool, which helps you to talk to your data. Let me try and paint a picture for you. We had spreadsheets. Of course, we still use spreadsheets. I mean, I have a mat in front of me which says Excel shortcut keys. So, spreadsheets is definitely still in the play there. Some of you have upgraded to BI tools, which is business intelligence tools like Power BI or Tableau. Now, we are talking about talking to your data. What if I tell you that you want an answer to a needle in a haystack kind of question of yours? For example, what was the quote you gave to this particular customer for this particular port pair in the year 2003 in the month of April in first week? Now, that's kind of a needle in a haystack question. This mosquito loves me, I feel. Sorry. That's a needle in a haystack kind of a question. Yes, of course, after doing a lot of data digging, you will come out with an answer. But you need an answer in less than 5 seconds. So, what we've done is we've built the NLP technology on top of our data analytics tool, where it helps you to talk to your data. Just type this question and you will get your answer. That is where Gen AI plays a very critical role. And third, disintegrated systems are the real bottleneck when it comes to data visibility. I have seen many logistics service providers use one system for sales, one system for operations, one system for finance. What does it do? It causes delays, it causes repetitive data entry, it causes unnecessary running around to fetch the data. The real bottleneck is disintegrated systems. I mean, logistics service providers sit, like yourselves, sit on tons and tons of data. Sometimes you do not know how to harness your own data. I have seen practical examples, I cannot take name of course, but I have seen practical examples where we've helped businesses generate at least 25 to 30% more business just by analyzing their own CRM data. But just by looking at what kind of profile of customers you work with, what existing customers have not given you business from how many time, how many months, just by analyzing your own data, you can generate at least 20 to 25% more business just by doing so. So what my suggestion or what my idea to share with the room is, do not aim for big bang transformation when it comes to data analytics, data intelligence, or data visibility. Let's start small. The basic and the most important could be figure out how you can get all of your data in one place, which helps to do you more productive analysis.
Thank you very much, Kunal. Very, very insightful. I think, there's 2 points here. One is data visibility, and you're absolutely right. Disintegrated data is a concern, and that is something that if each of our businesses connect the dots, it would be much simpler. Last, I would request Meera to audit what all of us have said, and does it make sense to the audience or not? After Meera, we are going to open the floor to you for a very interesting round of Q&A.
Am I audible? Ladies in the room, please notice the gentlemen were allowed to go first. Times have changed.
I saved the best for last.
Of course. Firstly, may I just congratulate FFAI. I travel a fair bit in my current role, and it always occurs to me that technology conferences, India is supposed to have some of the best tech minds, but normally at the forefront, we see companies that are not Indian. And at the stage along with me, I find, very operations-grounded companies that have then gone up to build technical solutions, and I think that's brilliant. So thanks FFAI for also picking Indian tech solution builders to sit here and talk today. Thank you. From my personal perspective, I think we heard about my experiments with truth when we were very young. And for me, it's been my experiments with software-based solutioning. And it's been so many ups and downs, so much overcommitment, underwhelming result. And at the same time, with every twist and turn, I evolved. And I feel extremely privileged to see things in a different light and to see opportunities in where other people see threats. I think that's the power of data, and I think that's the power of experimenting with whatever's out there. Like Kunal said, various AI solutions, etc., etc. Everyone's a doorway to opportunity. Now, I've had the incredible pleasure and luck through a 30-year career of working with freight forwarding, working with port operations, working as a steamer and a port agent, working as a container operator, sales agent, and then moving to tech. In tech as well, I had the pleasure of working with large government-based initiatives. I was listening to the gentleman from Customs earlier, where the government said, I've invested the money, I've hired the best minds, I've created something, but there's no adoption. And I watched the pain of that. And today, I run one of the companies in the JM Bakshi group, where we have built a private ecosystem. And we went and targeted tramp shipping. I know it's not quite the area that all of you work in, but FFAI felt that there could be value. So I hope you find value in what I share. So tramp shipping, if we say shipping as such is a dinosaur for tech, tramp shipping is the grandfather of the dinosaur. Because container shipping has invested in tech for a long time now. But the large tramp vessels, the one that carry your crude, your grain, your large project cargo, they're individual ship owners, far more isolated, far more, in their own niche world, and far less visibility on what happens outside the ship. Another interesting fact, it's the most skewed asset to manpower ratio you'll find in this industry. So one ship can cost like 50 million US, and there are people, customers of ours, who own 300 ships. And if you look at the manpower that is managing that, it's tiny. So how do they get away with this? They think that the cost of the ship is huge, the next biggest cost is bunker, the third biggest cost is crew, and then is the ship management. And they're completely blind to everything that happens at ports. So which is where Diabos and companies like us come in, where we are saying, guys, you can build your big ERPs, you can do your, huge investments in your own IoT devices, you can have robotics running under hull, cleaning, you can change the design of your ship, you can change your fuel, but there is a constant leaky bucket if you're not keeping an eye on the little costs that you incur at every port, and the quality of the agents and the vendors that you work with at every port. So private ecosystems try and plug that cost. I think it's brilliant because I notice the ease with which adoption happens in a private ecosystem versus government ecosystems, because there's nobody forcing it, there's no big brother forcing it down anybody's throat. People are there because they choose to do business and they see value. Keeps the developer on its toes, because the day you don't demonstrate value, you lose the next order. And it also ensures that we keep up with the best in tech. So we've had to, our evolution is forced by our need to survive. It's as simple as that. So whether it's agentic AI development, whether it's buying authentic data from the best in market and not trying to do everything yourself, we buy AIS data, we buy currency data because we trade in over 130 currencies around the world. We buy compliance data. When you're dealing in these sort of ships, compliance and anti-money laundering is a big piece. Everybody cannot do everything. And then we work on the concept of interoperability. So we are seamlessly integrated with anything anybody might want us to do. With many clients, our best users will not even know we exist. They log into their application, do their work, but somebody back-end via API is making sure that the quality of data presented to them so they can take a decision is better. So that's been my little niche, and that's why he called me the auditor, because what we do, and by the way, the word Diabos was apparently because Mr. Dhruv Kotak said it's based on Diablo, the devil, saying the devil is in the details. So data and data management is taking care of the devil in the details and making sure that you are staying more consistently profitable after you've gone and made that business plan or fixed down or tied down that freight. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Bringing operational efficiency into a dinosaur industry where cost as far as manpower, admin, is not something that's considered significant. I think, I think we owe another clap for her, not only to audit the session, but to go one step above. Meera brought up a very interesting thing as far as interoperability is concerned, which exists currently as the biggest challenge. In the interest of time, we are going to open the floor to perhaps one or two questions. The rest we can take offline before we conclude. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. The mic will come to you. Anyone? Questions? You have over 100 years of technology experience on panel. Anyone? Yes, so exactly. So we are too good or too boring. All right, so I'm going to put one question to each of the panelists here to answer in just perhaps one or two lines. The biggest challenge that exists today is interoperability, and I have so many tech companies here. The typical challenge has been everyone wants data, but no one wants to share data. And this is what constantly remains the bane of the brokers, the freight forwarders in the audience. How can this be solved, in your opinion? How can we all have an open mind and ensure that we live in harmony? May I request Kunal to please go first on his thoughts.
See, I think what I understand from your question is that you're saying the freight forwarders want data, but they do not have the access to the data. Is that what you're trying to say?
So typically what happens, we all work with companies. All of the companies
multiple
want to
stakeholders.
exchange data, but if I want to send my data to somebody through, let's say if I want to send data to my customer, to my vendor, to my supplier, most of our technology companies do not allow that. Okay? And that is the problem that exists, which is why even Meera brought about interoperability. FIATA is working on something with so-called the FIT Alliance, which is the Future in International Trade, where we have BIMCO, DCSA, ICC, SWIFT, and FIATA working together to solve the problem. Okay, so just one line, your thought of the problem.
I think that was a thing of the past, very honestly, because let me share what we are doing right now. We've built a beautiful, I can't do it in 198, so I'm so sorry. We've built a very beautiful trade, information exchange highway, which helps you to share the data with all the stakeholders whom you're interacting with. The biggest problem what used to be was the format, or two systems never used to talk, but now we have tools in place where you can simply send the data to one place, like a middleware, and from there you can convert the data to whatever format you want, whatever the format the opposite system accepts. So I think this is, at least in my ecosystem, no longer a problem as such.
Thank you very much, Kunal. And next, I would like to request Vineet to share his thoughts.
Right. I think that's the business we are in. This is about the fact that what we do is community platforms. It's not digital platforms which do something on community. The word community is an important aspect here. So essentially, if data sharing has to happen in whatever fashion, it has to be by the community, for the community, and sometimes, essentially, that all of this needs to come together. And our experience in doing in so many countries, when you have the voice of the industry driving some of these, then over a period of time, I think it's a question of trust which comes up, and then data which could possibly be shared gets shared, and certain amount of private data doesn't get shared, and that's okay for us. And that's something that we have seen, really helps when the community gets involved.
Thank you very much, Vineet. Parvinderji, your thoughts on the topic, on the question, sorry. Quick one, please.
Okay. Data sharing tools are available. All the platforms do that. What I think understood from your question is that we do not want to share data. That is because we have apprehensions about the use of data. All the trade, if we were talking about the trade, all the trade is sitting on huge big data. They're sitting on big data, they are data warehouses, but they do not want to share that data and don't have any tools to use that data. So in our olden times, we used to have a barter system. The people who are sitting on data can very well monetize it, and once you are able to monetize it, you will definitely share the data.
Thank you very much, Parvinderji. Meera, I would request you, and then last to Professor Jayant.
So I'd rather answer it like dealing with this objection from the audience, if I may. My view personally is that there's far more data out there on each of you as human beings, your children, your family members, even your dog and cat has data on it. So it isn't really such a grand secret what the cargo is, what the point of origin was, what the freight was, and from which stops it did. We try to hide unnecessarily, and we lose out on value. That's my view.
Thank you, Professor Jayendra.
Yeah, hello. For the specific current cases I think they have already answered. Let me say something futuristic in the sense of there is entire notions for something called as federated learning, where companies not directly sharing the data, but there is a middle agentic AI which is interfaces, which is learns on your company data, but there are multiple such agents working together without explicitly sharing the data, but still sharing the information and help make better decisions individually success. So that is kind of thing that is a big thing that is coming along the way.
Amazing. Agentic AI. Guys, that's the new buzzword that we want you to take
the
home.
federated learning.
It's going to help you share the information you want in an easier manner, better. And thank you very much. So before we wrap up the session, I just have one thing to share in respect to the FIATA electronic bill of lading. One of the biggest challenges that we see globally is interoperability. When we talk about documents being exchanged, India as a country, we have done a lot of work on GST where data is exchanged electronically. We talk about the electronic way bill. When we cross countries, the challenge no longer is technology. The challenge today is legality and law. FAI, FIATA are working very, very hard to solve that challenge together along with everybody. FAI is also issuing the FIATA Bill of Lading to all its members. So if you are unaware of it, or if you would like to issue the FIATA Bill of Lading, please do connect with us offline. We'd help you get on through that platform. So as we wrap up this session, let's reflect. The world of logistics is no longer about moving cargo. It's about moving data, decisions, and destiny. We heard how data is the new oil, but let's be honest. We spilled enough oil in this industry. It's time to refine our data and drive cleaner, leaner, and smarter. Whether you're a customs broker from Ludhiana or a freight forwarder from Bangalore, the message is clear. If you don't ride the data wave, you might digitally drown. The good news is you don't need a PhD in AI or mainframe in your warehouse. You just need the right mindset, the right partners, some of who we have on stage right here, a willingness to turn data overload into data insight, as also shared on the panel, and perhaps me as a moderator. Just joking. Thank you to our fantastic panel. You didn't just connect the dots today. In everyone's mind, you drew the map. To our audience, may your cargo be cleared faster, your systems never crash, and may your next shipments be powered not just by trucks, but by insight. Let's digitize, mobilize, and let's go forward together. Thank you very much. You've been a lovely audience and lovely panel. I hand it over to the compare.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tej and Ramasap. Very insightful discussion. A big applause to our eminent panelist and moderator. Thank you so much. We have seen that lot of changes even in the system. We have talked about integrated system and data management. And very importantly, we have talked about the security, cyber security requirements. We request all of you to have and use FFI platform SSO and get it benefited, and also keep your cyber security audit also frequently. This is the most important. Recently, we have seen many changes from the system, from the department. A lot of automations happened. Integrated systems are happening. We are looking for a single window system where it is getting achieved 100%. We truly appreciate the support of CBIC and DG system. Almost every day, 24/7, lot of representations, giving suggestions, inputs. Our chairman, Dushyant Mulanji, has taken a very lead role, and he is very keen and keeping a good relationship with the department for getting it solved for every issues. So thank you so much once again. Now it's a time for felicitation to our eminent panelists. I request Mr. Tej to felicitate. Mr. Kunal Maheshwari, CEO, Softlink Global.
But I was okay to let them go. I didn't get the plan.
Thank you, madam. I request to felicitate Vineet Malhotra, CMD, Kale Logistics. I request to come forward Mr. Parinder Singh, MD. Also request Sri Jayendran V, Professor IMT Madras, to come forward. Thank you, Mr. Tej. Now I'll request our Board of Director, Board of Advisor, Mr. Ramasab, to felicitate our Mr. Tej. Yes. Now we have two sponsors also to be felicitated. IT sponsor, Dara Logistics. I request our chairman, Sri Vishnu Lanji, to just come forward and felicitate Dara Logistics. I request
all three of you now, please. All three of you like this.
Friends, we have Captain Raghuraman amongst us. I would just like to say that the last thing we ever wanted to do is make someone from our forces get delayed and make them waiting, but Captain's been very, very gracious.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will just take 3 minutes of your time. We actually want to felicitate a very dear friend of ours. He has been partnering with us, giving us support. I would call him the supporting partner. A big round for applause for Mr. Mohit Mewani. Mohitji, can you please come up, please? Those who know him is okay. Those who do not know him is very unfortunate on your part that you do not know him. He is come, please, Mohitji, come. So he is the founder and CEO of Upstream Events and Exhibitions, which we all know as the IICS event, which is the India International Cargo Show, having over a decade experience in hosting, organizing exhibitions ranging from architecture, building, fire, and of course, logistics. So the IICS is a big show. So Chairman Sir, please request him to please say thank you. And he would have this IICS is a regular exhibition show being held every year. And hope to meet all of you all there. We from FFI, we very strongly and vigorously participate in his show. So we look forward to seeing you all there also. Thank you very much.
I request all the eminent panelists to come for a group photo.
This business session was sponsored by GMR, So, do we have anyone? Two people are here. Can you request them? Please come on stage. We'll just say thank you.